Rangers are through to the final of the Scottish League Cup after they beat Hearts 3-1 at Hampden on Sunday. In today's video, we'll discuss the big talking points from the game, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours, which includes a major update surrounding Kemar Roofes' future at Rangers. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Sparta Prague boss Brian Priske has given his players 2 days off to prepare for playing Rangers in the Europa League this week. Rangers face the Czech champions on Thursday at Ibrox in the fourth round of games in the group, with just 3 points separating all four teams. Sparta bounced back from a shock loss in the league last week to Molda Moslava by defeating city rivals Bohemians twice in 4 days in the Czech Cup and then in the league. But Priske reckons his players need a rest before the huge clash in Glasgow. This is what he had to say. A difficult and crucial week awaits for us as we have a hard game at the Banik Ostra next weekend. The game against Rangers is the most important of them. It will of course be challenging, but will be a beautiful match in a great stadium. For us, it's another important European night. So I've given the players 2 days off to preserve their energy. We've had a lot of football recently, and I think you could see that out there against Bohemians, particularly in the first half. Although we won, we did not perform to our standards that I expect. That was probably due to the amount of matches we have played recently, and that's why I've told the players to rest for a couple of days. Rangers expect to let striker Kemar Roofes go when his contract expires at the end of the season, and he could even leave in January according to Football Insider. The striker, who turns 31 in the new year, joined Rangers on a 4-year deal in 2020 for a fee of around £4.5 million. But Roofes has been plagued by injuries throughout his time with the Glasgow Giants, and missed most of the 2022-2023 campaign with a serious knee injury. Rangers have no plans to offer the forward, who is yet to feature under new boss Philippe Clement, amid more unspecified injury issues, a contract extension. While Rangers could be open to letting Roofes depart in January, he is on a big salary and one of the club's highest earners, which makes a mid-season move unlikely. The 5-cap Jamaica international has made 10 appearances across all competitions this term, notching 1 goal and 1 assist. He will be fondly remembered at Ibrox for netting 18 goals in 36 games across all competitions as Rangers lifted the Scottish Premiership title under Steven Gerrard in the 2020-2021 campaign. Clement has several other striking options to call on after a flurry of transfer activity in the most recent summer transfer window. Cyril Dessers, Sam Lammers and Danilo are all on the books at Ibrox after arriving in the off-season, but are yet to really flourish in a Rangers jersey. Rangers currently sit 8 points behind leaders Celtic in the Scottish Premiership, however do have a game in hand and are in the final of the Scottish League Cup. Rangers will face Aberdeen in the League Cup final after beating Hearts in the semi-final at Hampden. A James Tavernier brace and a Scott Wright strike from the bench wrapped it up for the Gers as they look to win this trophy for the first time since 2011. In this part of the video, we'll discuss all the big talking points from the game. Another win. Rangers dominated and were in control of the whole game despite it being goalless at half-time. Cup football is a precarious affair where the balance can tip in an instant. One missed opportunity or a defensive lap and the entire season's prospects can change drastically, erasing any prior excitement. This was the backdrop to today's events. Jack Butland had a relatively quiet first half, but the Rangers' offensive efforts often seem reliant on chance rather than skill, causing palpable nervousness among the fans. Memories of previous trips to the National Stadium med disappointment didn't help alleviate the anxiety. However, by the time we got to the 65th minute, we were in a great position and the game was all but won. It's great to see momentum building and this will surely help the man going forward. Tavernier the man. Tavernier comes under scrutiny sometimes for his defending, but there is no doubting his contribution going forward. Another 2 goals in this clash, one of which spectacular free kick, takes the captain to 110 goals for Rangers, which is utterly bonkers considering he's a right back. Again, Tavernier steps up when it matters, and for me, the channel regulars will know how highly I rate him. Wright to play a big part. Wright, the player who received a red card in Michael Beale's final game, boasts a history of scoring against Hearts at Hampden and has swiftly found a significant role under his new boss. Unlike his predecessor, Clement is keen on utilising wide players, even though this squad is primarily composed of number 10s. Cantwell, a player of undeniably high quality in comparison to Wright, faces the challenge of adapting to the right side, which might not fully exploit his potential. Given that this is not his preferred side and he brings a different skill set to the substitutes, Wright's strength lies in his ability to excel as a power dribbler in tight spaces, and his immediate impact was vital in elevating the team's performance, which was yearning for that extra spark. Hearts manager Steven Naismith has confessed that Rangers deserved their penalty in the semi-final, but expressed bemusement that his team were only awarded a spot kick after Stephen Kingsley had his red card rescinded by a VAR check. Naismith admitted that the referee Nick Walsh was correct to punish his goalkeeper Xander Clark for bringing down Danilo shortly after half-time, but was furious that the match official had to look at his pitchside monitor before giving the team a chance to net from 12 yards. Walsh initially sent Hearts defender Stephen Kingsley off for his second bookable offence after ruling the former Scotland internationalist had dived in the opposition area. Then he changed his mind after watching a replay and seeing that Ben Davies had actually kicked him. This is what Naismith had to say. Some people will say it was or it wasn't a penalty, but I think Danilo anticipates the ball. As much as Xander Clark is trying to get out of his way, his momentum takes him into this foot. If it was for us, I think it would be asking for it. The one thing I would add is I find it frustrating that the first thought for Celtic against us at Tynecastle was a penalty. The first thought today was Rangers was a penalty, but for us the first thought was a red card. I thought it was Kingsley's red was crazy. To think he would try to dive with the ball his miles away going out the park, he was never going to get a penalty for a dive. It's just strange that that seems to happen and the first thought is a red card when it is a clear kick. There has been a few penalties in recent weeks with the stamp on the foot. Aberdeen in Europe was one. Why was it not just a penalty? Then we can review it. It was not a red card, then we'll review it, which is strange for me. Naismith confessed that Hearts letting another 2 goals soon after falling behind had been the biggest frustration of the afternoon for him, and he admitted that his team will need to improve if they want to achieve their ambitions. Rangers fans, what are your final thoughts on the game against Hearts, and what do you make of the news with regards to Kemar Roofes? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we do have Rangers t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or go to rfcclothing.com. We are currently working on a ton of new designs, so I'm really looking forward to getting them out there for you just before Christmas so you can see our brand new prints. But until then, head over to rfcclothing.com and browse our collection. Link is in the description. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.